For more, Josef Gregory Mahoney joins me now from Shanghai. He is a professor of politics and international relations at East China Normal University. Sir, thank you for getting up early in the morning to be with us.
Thank you.
The latest big news we got, of course, is the election of Premier Li Qiang. What are the major challenges you think he faces, particularly at the beginning of his term, sir?
Well, the main challenge is to press ahead with post-pandemic economic recovery efforts and reinvigorate governance reforms. Now, he'll have to hit the ground running, quickly filling the shoes of Li Keqiang, the premier of the past decade, and do so with a mandate to cut staffing in central organs by 5%. Now, this will be quite challenging, and perhaps all the more so because he's perceived by some in the business community as having less economic experience than his predecessor. A second challenge is to promote healthy, sustainable growth and to ensure that government at the local and national levels avoids unhealthy growth-oriented policies that may produce inflation, burdensome debt or bubbles. A lot of media is focusing, of course, on the 5% growth target, debating whether it's too high or low. But arguably, the more important figures are the goals of holding inflation to around 3%, keeping projected deficit to GDP at 3%, and the aim to create 12 million urban jobs. Now, a third challenge is to reassure the private sector and private investment, both domestic and foreign, that China is open for business and opening further with a level playing field for all, whether state-owned, private, or international. Now, this shouldn't be too hard for him to do, given his work in Shanghai, where he opened the Shanghai Stock Exchange Star Market and played a leading role in attracting foreign investment like the Tesla Gigafactory, as well as his close links with leading tech firms like Alibaba. Now, I think concerns that the government was previously cracking down on tech firms was always overblown. In fact, some regulatory pushback was necessary. But Li's long-standing support for tech development will fit hand in glove with President Xi's ambition to accelerate high-quality development through innovation-driven high-tech growth and more state-private partnerships where private capital and ingenuity will play a leading role. Now, a fourth and final challenge will be to continue to draw positive lessons from the pandemic while preparing for additional possible surges and new outbreaks, and to do so in ways that will help minimize future disruptions. And here, again, his experiences in Shanghai will be very valuable. Shanghai led the nation in control efforts and held the line successfully, helping save millions of lives, but it also paid a high price to do so. So there's a lot to learn from this, and he's very well positioned to draw the clearest lessons.
Yeah, it will be very interesting to see what he's done on the local level and translate that to the national level. I want to switch gears a little bit. A peace deal has just been brokered by China between Iran and Saudi Arabia without U.S. involvement. It's a big deal. So how much of a diplomatic and political win is this, do you think?
Well, China mediating the resumption of diplomatic relations between Iran and Saudi Arabia is a stunning victory for President Xi Jinping's global security initiative and China's promotion of peaceful coexistence and mutual respect. It's also increasing evidence that the road to a shared future for humanity starts in Beijing, but can lead anywhere, even linking once intractable foes. Now, we will continue to see China playing the role of mediator and peacemaker. We'll see this between countries like Saudi Arabia and Iran, Russia and Ukraine, but also countries with disputes with China. Now, this is by far the best way to respond to America's anti-China containment policies, demonstrating to the world that China is neither an aggressor nor interested in hegemony. And you know, the main fear that we see around the world is that China will rise and be just as dirty as the U.S. and other previous hegemons, that, you know, it's better perhaps to dance with the devil that you know than the one you don't. And this is the underlying logic of America's demonization of China. But I think Beijing's response is we don't have to live in a zero-sum world, choosing between one version of hell or another. We can and will do better. This is what China has proven with its successful development and national rejuvenation, and what it's now offering the world through diplomacy and renewed multilateralism.
We certainly are living in interesting times. Josef Gregory Mahoney, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time today, sir.
Thank you.